This time on Early Access Investigation, we are going to take a look at a game that I don't think will ever come out. It's called Epic Royale and was released on the 24th of November 2017. The original name of the game was Integrity, and its description reads as follows. When a nuclear bomb destroys Earth, the only people left are those on the International Space Station in orbit. 3 generations later, the survivors living on a space station see their resource fade and face draconian measures made to ensure humanity's future, desperately looking for a solution. The space station's leaders send prisoners back to the planet to test its habitability, but with the fate of the human race in their hands, they must forge a path into the new unknown. Now the game is called Epic Royale, and its description reads as follows. Up to 100 players are dropped on the island to fight to the death. Only one will survive. Most of the time, there's no problem in games changing their names or their descriptions because game development is not a static thing and it's prone to change. One very interesting case was the game by the name of Iron Maiden that got sued by Iron Maiden, the band, and had to change the name to the title of Iron Fury. The name change or description change is therefore nothing to worry about, but the description is, well, let me put it like this. My grammar is not perfect. I can't speak English perfectly, but even I noticed that the description sounds awkward. It doesn't instill the feeling of security into me, and that is not only because of the capitalization of words. This is not a major red flag, but it already gives me the wrong signals. For everyone out there making games, at least try to do a decent description. And if you can't do it yourself, ask someone in the forums, we are usually pretty nice, or pay someone. We will return to the description later, but for now let's have a look at the reviews. That looks weird. We have 5 reviews but no ranking. If we go down and remove all filters and have a look at the graph, we see that there are 9 reviews in total, with most of them being negative. I assume what happened here is that the game got updated and Steam deemed those reviews to be outdated and therefore removed them from the ranking, leaving no review in the current ranking. I learned that this can happen very often and it's not Steam's fault directly, but we can have a look at the Steam database, and there we see that there are indeed 9 reviews in total and 6 of them are negative. Basically 2/3 of the people that played this game don't like the game. Unfortunately, in this case, we have a few trolls because even the positive reviews are full of sarcasm and probably are not serious. I thought this one was funny and it reads as follows. It's a good game, a bit rough on the guns, but it looks good. It takes time to make a good game. Stephen Hawking. Well, I give it some time, I guess, and have a good day. Yeah, I think this is not meant to be taken seriously. If your game has potentially an 100% dislike rate, then there's probably something wrong. We could pack our things and move on because I'm sure we'll not find anything of value, but I encourage everyone to always dig deeper. It could be that 9 people trying to troll the developer and this is a hidden gem. So normally what we do next is take a look at websites, social media, and overall dev online presence. Unfortunately, there is no website or social media we can look at, so this is gone. This is one of the things I try to explain to everyone that is trying to sell something on the internet. You have to have a direct line between you and your customer as an independent developer, content creator, whatever you're doing on the internet. I understand that a website might be something out of reach, but a Twitter or Instagram or Facebook account should be in the realm of possibilities. A good alternative to a website is a Discord server. There you can post announcements and have giveaways, gather the people that want to play your game, and ask for feedback. Not having those things are not a red flag though. I would like for indie devs to understand that they are their own marketing team, but I don't judge them. It does cost time and it does cost effort to keep those things up to date. One thing that I cannot excuse though is the update tab. The update tab is blank. There is no initial posts by the release of the game. There are no updates on what the dev is working on. There is no interaction between developer and community. And I understand that this takes time out of the development cycle, but marketing is part of the development cycle. Branding, naming, banner design, screenshots, trailer, and much more. These are things that belong in the game development part of a game. In a big AAA environment, you have different departments responsible for those things. As an indie dev, you are all of those things in one. Again, I feel like I'm repeating myself, but so many devs just forget about the advertisement part of game development. Moving on to the discussion tab, we will find a bunch of discussions that remain unanswered by the dev, except for one, that being the claim that the dev removes all negative discussions. The dev, let's call him Ben since the username is that, denies that and claims that they only remove the abusive discussion, which I am inclined to believe since there are a bunch of other discussions that reveal the sketchiness of this game and they haven't been removed yet. Most of the discussions are things like, wow, they are charging actual money for this, seriously, ? Or, this joke isn't funny anymore. Or, love me daddy, hi devs, let's arrange a night in your love outback. Yeah, most of those discussion threads are useless. There's one from user Malefactor in which they write, explain for what reason or purpose you, the unspecified Homo sapiens or group of Homo sapiens, are the current moment violating restraining order which I put against you in court by trespassing on this forested wetland property which legally belongs to me and is therefore my property. And then they proceed to copy this a few times. Maybe this is a reference to something? I just don't get it. What I'm saying is that Ben has the right to not answer to those discussions. They are probably meant as a joke, or the people are actually trying to hurt Ben, but I really don't care if Ben answers to those or not. Then there are a few threads that ask how this got on Steam, some threads saying that Ben is retarded and a garbage human being, which, by the way, I don't find very constructive. If you want to criticize the devs, there are better ways to do that, and we have some of those too. The Steam user by the name of ComniDev points out that the original description looks very familiar to the description of the first episode of the TV series called The 100. Here's the original description again. When a nuclear bomb destroys Earth, the only people left are those on the International Space Station in orbit. 3 generations later, the survivors living on a space station see their resources fade and face draconian measures made to ensure humanity's future, desperately looking for a solution. The space station's leaders send prisoners back to the planet to test its habitability, but with the fate of the human race in their hands, they must forge a path into the unknown. And now the first episode of the 100 with a few parts retracted for it to make more sense. 1907 years ago, nuclear Armageddon decimated planet Earth, destroying civilization. The only survivors were the 400 inhabitants of 12 international space stations that were in orbit at the time. 3 generations have been born in space. The survivors now number 4,000, and resources are running out of their dying ark. Technology blind to what's happening on the planet below them, the ark's leaders are faced with difficult decisions about life, death, and the continued existence of the human race. I assume that the thread was the reason that Ben changed the description, which is a good thing, because you shouldn't steal from people, but it's bad enough that they did it in the first place. So there is no real excuse here. Ben didn't give a statement, by the way. The next thing that really bothers me, and is just the final nail in the coffin, is the tangible evidence that this is a complete asset flip. We have Steam users King, Dugan, and Hani pointing out that this is basically a Unity template called Multiplayer Survival Game Template, just sold without any or just small changes. By the way, Ben knows that he flipped an asset, as you can see from the interaction between Dave Master and Ben. You wouldn't see that on first glance now, because the initial game and the Steam trailer show two different things, because the original game was called Integrity and was a survival game, and the renamed Epic Royale is supposed to be a epic battle royale game. I think Steam user Little Sister puts it the best. Game template ripped from Unreal Engine store. Game description ripped from the TV show The 100. Gillette suit ripped from H1Z1. Sledgehammer animation ripped from Donkey Kong. This goes, of course, for the old version of the game, but I can't imagine that the new Battle Royale version of the game is that much better. It seems that Ben released a game for $100 as an asset flip to ride the hype of the damn popular genre of survival games. Jim Sterling covered that, thank Melitele for him. Then he lowered the price to $25. After that, I really don't know what happened. Battle Royale got popular and Ben changed the game entirely, and now it's 79 cents. I did want to interview Ben, but the more research I did, the less I felt inclined actually asking Ben anything. Plus, it would have been a written interview anyways, and I don't enjoy those. They are very boring. Anyways, Martin.lore puts it the best, and I'm just going to change a few things on his statement. This is to you, Ben. Your profile shows that you're a veteran member of the community. By now, you have to be at least a teenager or an adult. You must see that you have waded into a quagmire that is not going to bring you any joy ever, because you couldn't or wouldn't grow old, wise enough to have some ideas about how to make a game before diving into the Unity store and flipping assets to sell them on Steam. Your profile is, as far as I know, private, but has been sullied by this. So just take a few hours to reflect on the whole thing, and then just quit taking the mickey out of the community and remove your early access junk before your very relationship with Valve and Steam takes a hit. Just go back to playing games, why not, at least until you get out of high school or get some experience. This is my personal recommendation. I found other stuff that would make the situation way worse, but everyone has their skeletons, and I will not try to harm Ben. Ben, if you're watching this, I just ask you to make a public statement on the whole situation, maybe tell your story and cancel the game. It is never coming out. If you want to try stuff out, there is this site called itchy.io. I think this is a way healthier site to post your stuff. If you're a scammer, and I'm just giving you too much credit, then I'm really sorry for you, and for those who are watching, please don't buy this game, not even as a joke. Don't harass Ben, and if you want really to help, I would like you to report the game. I'm pretty sure Steam is not going to do anything, but this is not fair towards other developers that put work into their products, and I think that asset flips just don't belong on the Steam storefront. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. This was a really hard episode to make. I'm just tired now, but share this with anyone who you know and who are interested in early access. Like the video, comment what game you want to take a look at me next, subscribe of course, watch my other videos. Take care of yourselves and have a nice day.